All right, here are the top 5 things that you need to know in today's housing market. I get these questions all the time from clients, buyers, and sellers, and just folks that are interested in getting into real estate, maybe even investors sometimes, and they want to know how does all this work? So, number one, let's start with the information and consumer sites that you see are not always accurate. They're definitely geared toward getting clicks, toward sharing their information, toward getting more views. So sometimes their headlines and their information is maybe geared in a little bit more sensational way than what the actual reality of the situation is. And keep in mind, things vary by zip code and by neighborhood. So if you want specific information, reach out to a professional that knows that individual area. Number two, buyers and sellers have their own individual unique closing costs. So when a buyer or a seller feels like they look at a contract and go, oh, they're asking me to pay all these closing costs. Well, it might not be the case. They might actually be what we refer to as, a traditional balance of buyer and seller fees. So again, depends on the situation. Go over that on an individual basis with your agent. Number three, so buyers don't actually have to put 20% down to purchase a home for themselves. That used to be the case decades and decades ago. That is not the case now. And there are actually loan programs that will go down to as little as 0% down payment. Now, there are additional costs and fees and guidelines associated with that. So I would say, for the most part, 3% is about the minimum where you're going to get a good solid loan and put as little down as possible. Number four, traditionally in the United States, sellers actually pay the commissions for both buyers and sellers. And while maybe that doesn't seem like the greatest deal for sellers and it seems like a great deal for buyers, it all kind of comes around in the long term because that buyer that just purchased a home and paid zero commission, right? um, Built into the cost of the home. Well, when they turn around and actually sell that home and they're on the selling side, then they're going to pay both parties. So it does kind of come out in the wash over the long run. And number five, keep in mind, list price is just a number. It can be high, it can be low, or it might be right on for the exact market value of that property at that time, or it could be really high, or it could be really low. And those are the situations where then we might see a property that sits on the market for 30, 60, 90, 120 days and never sells. Or you might see that property that gets multiple offers and closes in 3 or 4 days, sells in 3 or 4 days because they priced it aggressively. So keep in mind, list price is just a starting point. And again, ask a professional to help you identify what the actual market value is for that specific property at that time of the market. So I hope those help and give you a little bit more insight into the real estate market. If you have other questions, reach out. I'm always glad to help. You can email, text, call, reach out to us through our website, all of that, and check out the other YouTube videos for more information. Thanks.